OMG, guys, it's Helmet Week. This is so exciting. Let's do it. Hello, everybody. Old school preview pod this week. Surprisingly, incredibly difficult to find or get in contact with a Richmond podcast to get somebody on. So if there's anyone who knows a Richmond podcast out there and knows anyone who does one, please let us know for next season. My theory, they're scared. They know the mighty North train is coming and they're going to be cemented at the bottom of the ladder after this week. So anyway, just me this episode. We've got a lot to talk about. There's so much that's happened, so many signings. The mass exodus continues this week. It's helmet game this weekend. This is so exciting. And we've got big news with the helmet game. So that's what we're going to start off with. Then we'll get into what I think about the game and the lineups and all the normal sort of stuff. But first, Tristan Xerri tribute game. So, as you can see, I'm still wearing the helmet. Have I taken this off since last episode? Absolutely not. I have not. There's exciting stuff happening with this game, guys. The response has been really, really good. I'm really surprised with how many people are messaging saying they've got helmets and they're going to be in Bay 29 or Bay 30 and be down in that area. Now, not going to spoil anything because we need to get some things confirmed, but there is very, very strong rumours that there may be some giveaways in the Bay. So please get down to the game and get them because it's going to be a very, very fun time. We may have a couple of helmets to give out and a couple of things to wear on your heads that you may be able to get into the action, even if you do not have a Tristan Xerri helmet. So please get down, even if you don't have a helmet. We might be able to help you out there with some giveaways. That's very exciting. Fox Footy is all over this. I'm telling you, Fox Footy, we're going to be on. If you want to be on Fox Footy, come and be a nuffy in the Bay with all of us. The other plan is to get a photo with Tristan Xerri. Now, a little bit of digging we've been doing, a little bit of, the word on the street is he might be able to come and take a photo with us in the warm-up. What we want everyone to do, everybody who is getting down to the Bay or has the helmets, we need everyone to get there probably about an hour before kickoff. That's when they do the warm-up, and some point through the warm-up, he can come and take a photo with us, we hope. So I would say if everyone gets there, I know it's early, but 12:30 to 12:45. It's a 1:45 kickoff. If we're all down in the bays or hanging around by then, we can sort of get that photo if you want to be in the photo with Tristan Xerri. We haven't contacted him directly, but we've heard he knows about it, and the plan is for him to come over and get a photo with us. So once again, he might forget, and I would be upset if that happened. But look, I'm sure he's a man of his word or he's a man of integrity, and he'll come and take a photo with us because we love him and we're just celebrating him. So hopefully he comes and gets a photo. Hopefully we get on Fox Footy. Hopefully there's lots of giveaways to give out in the Bay. And we really need you guys to bring the energy. There's going to be chants. We're going to be cheering. Admin 2 is away this game, and he's the one who drives the Kangas in the Bay. I'll be doing my best to take over that mantle, but I need everybody's help in that Bay. If I send a Kanga and the Ruru's back a light, I'm going to get embarrassed and scared and sit down. Please enable me to be a nuffy and be a complete loser and lose my mind in the Bay. I need everybody chanting and cheering. Start your own chants. It's a safe space. It's okay. We'll try and convince Admin 3 to do it, but notoriously nervous in front of a crowd. But I believe in you. I believe in you. That's about all the updates for the Tristan Xerri game. But please, if you want to try and be part of the photo with Tristan Xerri, you got to get there an hour before kickoff at minimum. Because the warm-up starts about then. They come out, and I don't know if he's going to come before the warm-up, during the warm-up, after. We hope at some point through there. So please get there nice and early. We'll be hanging around. And even if you're not in Bay 29, come and hang out outside the Bay earlier before the game. Like I said, we might have some giveaways and things to give out to people so everyone can cop a helmet. It'll be a good time. Okay, a massive game regardless, and a massive week for North Melbourne in general. This week we've had Harry Sheezel. I think this is the first week where Harry Sheezel's properly getting recognised as an absolute gun. which we already knew that. But his game last week is one of the highest ranked games for the season / ever, apparently. So we've got an absolute superstar on our hands, and we all knew this. But even for me, I really, really believe this is the week that it really sunk in deeper than ever that we have a genuine AFL superstar on our hands, and we're very, very lucky to have him. There's going to be lots of people joining him and staying with him, lots and lots of re-signings. So, Bull, he's here. We doubted him at the start of the year. I definitely thought maybe he'd be the one to go and LDU might stay, even though LDU's free agency is next year. But since the bye, like a lot of the team, he's been playing pretty good football. It's interesting to see the reaction to this one. I would have thought there was, and it's great, there's so much positivity around Cam Zurhaar signing. A big 5-year deal, don't know the money he's on, but a big 5-year deal. And the video with him and Larky celebrating was fantastic. This is the stuff we love about North Melbourne. They're mates, they want to play together for their whole careers. It was just a great moment. I love that Clarko is so on board with all that sort of stuff and making the content, because we didn't get these videos as much before with other coaches. Them coming in and, Bull announcing his contract extension. He's like, oh, why are you guys late? Why are you two the only ones late to the meeting? Oh, wait, he's re-signed. So I love that stuff. Interesting, the reaction of this. I would have thought there'd be slightly more negativity, and I was pleasantly surprised that there was not. I think Zurhaar's been good since the bye. I think he can do better, and I think he should do more. But he's been really solid, a consistent goal contributor. I think we just haven't seen that King of Marvel Zurhaar, that best on ground performance from Cam Zurhaar, which I hope he can do now he's got his big deal and he can concentrate on his footy. But the fan reception to him signing is fantastic and a lot more positive than a lot of fan signings and what I thought it might be. But well done to Cam, deserved the contract. I think he's aware that he needs to be more consistent, especially after the 5-year deal. So let's hope he can turn up consistently for us over the next 5 years and get us into finals. I'd really like to see this weekend a Cam Zurhaar game. We know what he can do against Richmond at Marvel. We've seen it before a couple of years ago. That's the King of Marvel game. And we'd love something like that this week. I'd love him to get on the scoreboard a bit more and just break games open. I haven't seen him fend off someone for a long time. He's more of just a standard lead up forward, take a mark, and kick a goal, which is fine. But I want to see him in Sean Atley Club Champ votes this week. That's something I want to see happen. But well done, 5 years for Bull. Jackson Archer signed for 2 years as well. Now, I thought this already happened, and a lot of people did too when I posted on the page. Very, very interesting. I'm pretty sure like 2 months ago, it was rumoured, right, by pretty reliable sources. I think the AFL posted about it saying Jackson Archer's re-signed, but the club never did. Finally, apparently the admin just scheduled the post 2 months late. But 2 years for Jacko. Doesn't feel super exciting because I feel like I've already been excited that he re-signed, but fantastic stuff. I'm glad he's around, son of a gun, playing so well. It absolutely earned his deal this year, and hopefully he's in this side for a long, long time. The last one that's not official yet, but very, very strong rumours is Will Phil has signed a 2-year deal. Now, I love this from the club. Interesting, Eddie Ford gets a 1 and Will Phil gets a 2. Not necessarily just because of their forms, but how the club seems to view both of them. Will Phil has been dropped a lot and not played a lot, where Eddie Ford's played pretty consistently, a few sub-appearances and whatnot. But, it's interesting to see a 2-year and a 1 year. But, hey, I'm glad they've given him a multi-year deal to give him a bit of confidence that we want you here. You've got a space in this side. You can absolutely earn it. He's reinvented himself with that tagging role as well, but also being able to contribute on the other side of the ball. So absolutely deserved as well. And the mass exodus continues, guys. It's crazy how many players we've had re-sign this year, and we're really keeping this core together, which is super, super, super exciting. I hope next year we can take another step. Obviously, Richmond this week's a massive winnable game. West Coast next week's a winnable one as well. I want 4 wins this year. I don't think we beat the Bulldogs the week after. And the Hawks, if Hawks are still playing for finals, I don't think we can beat them down there either, even though I'd love to smash the Hawks. But, I've got to be realistic as well. They're playing incredibly well, and I hate every second of it. Lots else. Well, there's a lot of crazy injuries and like injury scares and things happening this week as well. So Wardlaw's confirmed out. Like I said, he's having like lingering concussion symptoms from something late in the last quarter last week against the Cats. So that's a little bit concerning because Richmond West Coast, we need our best players there. I know Wardlaw was out for the Suns and we still won, which gives me a bit more confidence. But, you know, Wardlaw's missing out on a lot of potential wins of winnable games. So that's really disappointing. Zach Fisher won't play as well. Is it plantar fascia? I think Clarkson said in his press conference. He's progressing well, and I'd say he'd play before the end of the year. But he will not play this game because he's still a little bit sore. That means we really need Colby McKercher to be in this week, and I really, really hope he is. Clarkson in the press conference hinted that him, Core, Comben would all play, or they're going to be at least in the squad. So I'll be very nervous on the morning of the game to see any late changes. But we need Colby, we need Comben in there, we need Core in there. We really, really need those guys. I mean, we saw Jaden Stevenson of halfback. What Fisher and McKercher offer is much, much more. So we really need at least one of those guys there for a little bit of continuity off the back line because we just didn't look like we could progress that ball forward as cleanly without them. So hopefully they all play. And that's really all the news. It's been swinging around, guys, unless I've missed something else. But yeah, great re-signings, 3 re-signings in 1 week. It doesn't get better than that. And yeah, a few injury concerns. The injury list from last week to this week is a little bit terrifying. It's crazy how many more tests we've got this week for injuries compared to the week before. So anyway, I'm hoping the squad will be announced and all those players are playing. Confirmed Wardlaw Fish won't play. I wonder who will come out for them. I don't feel like we'll make a lot of changes. Let's talk about changes and let's go to the club reaction. Then I'll talk about the game, how I feel it will go after I know who's playing. So originally, I put out Shields, Steve-O, Hansen Jr. in Colby, Ford, Fish. We know Fish won't play. Obviously, Wardlaw is going to come out. Interesting with Eddie Ford as well. I haven't got an update on him. I don't know. He's a test as well, so I don't know if he will play. I think that really limits our changes. I can't see Shields getting dropped. Steve-O, Hansen Jr., I could see. Maybe Steve-O plays because Wardlaw and Fish aren't going to be there. Another chance for Steve-O maybe, but I don't think any of us would be too unhappy if he was dropped. A lot of almost moments for Jaden Stevenson last week, and I think maybe against a worse Richmond side, maybe he doesn't make those mistakes, but you know, it's so hard to have faith in him, especially coming off half-back where if he turns it over, it's a goal, you know what I mean? So look, I wrote down those changes, but I really don't know now that Wardlaw and Fish aren't going to be playing. So I think we just need to go to the team. So let's have a look at this. Live team reaction. Bang. Toby Pink is back in. Griffin Logue. Oh my God, our backline. Wow. Okay. In Pink, McKercher, Ford, out Logue, Wardlaw, Shields. Yeah, okay. In for Richmond, Dusty, Nankervis, Jack Graham, out Samson Ryan, Thompson Dow, and Caleb Smith. Never heard of any of those guys, which sucks because I've heard of all the other ones coming in. So that means their side is stronger, and I would say our side is weaker, which is concerning. Ryan Mansell, 50th game, and Luke McDonald, 200 games. The helmet game has really overshadowed Luke McDonald's 200th game. So I just want to put a formal apology out there to Luke McDonald for overshadowing your 200th game. You've been a great servant, but the helmet game is the biggest thing happening this week. Okay, let's talk about the changes. Griffin Logue injured is a bit scary. He's been really solid, and we're replacing him with Toby Pink, which is not good. Toby Pink was fine when he played sometimes, but yeah, not too confident with that. I didn't know about his injury as well. Clarkson didn't mention it in the press conference, which is strange. Wardlaw we know, and Shields interesting. And I guess Fish, because he wasn't in the squad last week, isn't even bothered being named. Pink in. I guess we have to. I guess we have no choice, especially with little injury clouds over Comben and Core. I'm going to assume they're going to play. Comben, for me now, definitely plays back. I think he's going to be back in the back line. I'd be astonished if Core and Toby Pink were our two key defenders. That's David Noble football if that happens. So if Charlie Comben doesn't play back this week, I'll be absolutely shocked. Toby Pink, yep, okay, whatever. Cole McKercher, fantastic, brilliant. We absolutely need him back in. Eddie Ford, fantastic as well. So good ins. Pink makes me scared. Griffin Logue, why do you do us like this? Yeah. Our overall team, I guess, Chom absolutely has to play back. Teakle and Larky need to really, Teakle needs to step up a little bit. I think he's been good and deserves his spot still. I don't think he should be dropped, but, he needs to present a little bit more or be a bit more of that key forward target than he was last week. Interesting, Stevenson still in, named on half forward. I know it doesn't really matter where these players are named. Steve-O's named at half forward, still in. Robert Hansen Jr. is still in. Callan Dawson, how is Callan Dawson not in? Now, I completely forgot about Callan Dawson. That is concerning. How is Toby Pink getting a game over Callan Dawson? I'm sorry, close to a flag, boys. I know he's your guy, but God. Callan Dawson, how is he not in if we've got these injury clouds? He's named as an emergency, so I guess a late change, but geez, I'd put him in a heartbeat over Pink. Anyway, good to see Dersma still in. Great game. Hopefully he can be a dangerous forward. Curtis, Larky, Zerha, Teakle, Dersma in the forward line. Eddie Ford obviously going to go up there. Look, it's still a pretty solid team. I'm just really worried about the back line, I think, with the run without Fisher and no Griffin Logue down there. I know the back line of Dawson, Comb and Call was really good, but why is Toby Pink in there and not Callan Dawson? Close to the flag boys have way too much influence over team selection, clearly. Interesting with our midfield as well. I mean, Tom Powell, you would think, is going to be the guy to go in there a lot more. Now Wardlaw isn't in there. LDU, Powell, Simkin is good. She's going to play plenty of time in there. Maybe we do see a Bull or a PC go in there a little bit more. Will Phillips going to get plenty of centre bounce time as well. Who does Will tag? I'd probably put him on Taranto. Prestia, Taranto, Hopper midfield. It's not bad, but they haven't been clicking. Who is in their forward line? I don't know how they kick goals. I mean, Shai Bolton, you would think that that's the Jackson Archer matchup. Dusty playing forward is very dangerous. I don't want to see Luke McDonald on him. I don't even know who you'd play on him. I guess that has to be Jackson Archer as well, so that's concerning. But Archer needs to go to one of those. One of those guys could have a big game. Other than that, I'm not too scared about much in their team, to be honest. I honestly don't know a lot of their players. Jacob Kazitsky's a spud. Liam Baker's okay. Don't know who Seth Campbell is. Don't know who Ryan Mansell is. I know if you want to roast me for not knowing these players, go ahead. Sorry, I'm out looking at North Melbourne stuff. Noah Bolter's named at full back, but I thought he was a forward. Anyway, it's a very strange Richmond team. A player who's dropped off the face of the earth is Daniel Rioli. I feel like he was a spark and everyone talked about him all the time, but all of a sudden I haven't heard about him all year. Look, let's talk about how important this game is. Now, this is easily the biggest game of the season for us. If we win this, no wooden spoon. I know mathematically we can, but let's be honest. We're not winning the spoon if we win this game. If we don't win this game, after all the work we've done after the bye, I think it undoes 90% of what we've been doing. And I know that's a crazy harsh take, and maybe I don't mean it quite as seriously as that, but if we lose to Richmond, who are woeful and on the down, I don't know. I think a lot of the form and things we've been showing are really pointless if we don't take advantage of teams that are worse than us, which is not many teams in the AFL. We've got a chance to go 2 from 2 the next 2 weeks, and if we don't, not good enough. And that's the standard I'm setting. We must beat Richmond, and I'm not talking about a point. We need to beat these guys. We need to go in the last 5 minutes of the game and be like, let's just control this. West Coast down in Tassie the next week as well. We need to win that game. We're better than them. They're playing so far away from home. We need to get the job done. Nothing but a win is good enough in this game. I don't care if we play great and we lose by a goal after the siren. Not good enough. It's so important we win this game. If we don't, I'm terrified for all the Tigers fans giving us pelters and just the media attention on us. And it really puts us back in this rebuild. It really, really sets us back. So this is such an important game and we absolutely need to win. Look, I'm terrified. This is one of the first times we've ever gone into a game and we've been favourites, which is very, very scary. But look, I believe we can win. My tip for this game is I'm going to say North by two goals. But that sort of goes against what I said before. I want to say 3 goals, but I think I'm scared to say that. 2 to 3 goals. That's my tip. North, I think by 2. I want by 3 or more. But realistically, I'm still a nervous North fan. I've seen this team. I want 2 goals, but hopefully 3 or 4. That would be my thing. Richmond just don't have... They've got spot players on the ground to be good. Nankervis being back in is interesting. I think Jerry will towel him up. Their midfield is okay on paper, but ours should dominate. And this is the pressure. When we start winning all the clearances against the Cats or the Blues or whatever, it's like, wow, look how good we are. This is a game we should be doing that. We should be winning. And that's where the pressure comes. And can the players handle that pressure? We will see. My tip is 2 to 3 goals. And like I said, we'll be down there and I'll be very, very nervous and very, very excited. Helmet's game is fun, but North Melbourne being favourites in a game is very scary. All right. What else have we got to talk about here? Let's go to this week at the Barbershop. We've got some shout-outs this week. So cue the jazz. All right. So this week at the Barbershop, we've had a lot of people coming in for a haircut. Just to say hello, but also to show off that they're coming to the Helmet game, and I love it. The first shout out is to a client who's come in a couple of times now. He's a good bloke, a guy named David. Comes in, has a chin wag about North. Very excited for the Helmet game. We're going to see him down there in the Bay on the weekend. So shout out to David. Thank you for coming down and getting a haircut. Always a great chat. And hopefully next time you're in, we're chatting about a couple of wins this weekend and next weekend. Appreciate the effort coming down, mate. Thank you very much. And we'll see you on the weekend and get in there very, very soon. A great bloke. The other shout out is to a young man called Sammy. Now, Sammy is a young son of a client of mine at the barbershop. And word on the street is he's a North fan, but he's not quite sure. He's a young boy. He's still thinking about what team he wants to support. But we know in his heart it's North Melbourne. He's got the North Melbourne merch. He says he's a North fan, but there's a bit of hesitancy there. So I just wanted to put out a message to Sammy. Sammy, I'm talking directly to you now, my friend. You are a North Melbourne man through and through. You're young. You're about to watch one of the best future players in the AFL. Harry Shees will have one of the best careers you've ever seen. We're about to take the league by storm, my friend. Within a couple of years, we're going to be really fun, really exciting, and you don't want to miss out on that. You've been there since the start with Harry Sheasel, George Wardlaw, all these guys. Wait till they've played 10, 15 years. And you can say, I saw the first game they played. I was there. I grew up with them. You don't want to miss out on the North Melbourne future we've got. It's going to be massive. We're talking premierships and Brownlows. Sammy, please. We want you as part of this club. The Further North podcast wants you as part of this club. Don't doubt the boys. Yes, maybe they're not playing the best footy right now, but patience, and then it'll be the best time of your entire life. So, Sammy, trust me, my friend. You're a North Melbourne. You're a shin boner. You're a shin boner for life. Don't give up on North. Trust me. I want to see you in a North jumper very, very soon. We'll get you down to Bay 29 and we'll get you chanting with us. We'll get a helmet on your head and you'll be a shin boner for life. So, Sammy, I look forward to seeing you in the blue and white for the rest of your life, mate. That's about it. Stop the jazz. Okay. That's about all we've really got to talk about. It's tip time. And we know my tips. My tips are rubbish, but they're also incredibly accurate. I haven't really looked at ins and outs. Anyway, let's just do this. Western Bulldogs and Melbourne. There's 2 Friday night games. Very interesting. Okay. I think the Bulldogs have to win that, right? The form the Bulldogs are in is unbelievable. The D's are 11th. That's crazy. Let's just talk about this for a second. What a crazy table. You've got Carlton, who are the biggest bottle jobs in the AFL. 48 points. And then 44 points is 9th. So from 4th to 9th, there's one game difference. Essendon's 42 and the D's and the Pies are on 40. So 2 games separates 4th and 12th. That is crazy. Now, let's just talk about the Blues for a second. I made a statement to a couple of people at the barbershop over the last couple of weeks. I don't know if I said this last week on the barbershop, but I'm going to say it again. I said to someone, I don't think Carlton is that much different to Essendon, which really riles a few people up. Now, there's 6 points separating Carlton and Essendon. They both bottle big games. It's a game and a half difference. Essendon love to bottle it everywhere they go. They're the Tottenham of the AFL. We know that. But I think if you go to the street, everyone's going to think Carlton are miles better, but they're just not. The Giants, they were out of the 8 a couple of weeks ago. Now they're 5th. It's called Footscray this week. Why? Who cares? Port Adelaide is 7th. They're rubbish. Hawthorn could be in the 8 this week. Yuck, I hate Hawthorn. Geelong, they were top 4. Now they're 6th. Could drop out this week. This is a massive week of football for some of these teams. Okay, I'm going to tip the Dogs. West Coast, Gold Coast. West Coast for me. It's getting played over at Optus. I want the Gold Coast to win so bad. You know what? I'm changing my tip. I'm gonna go Gold Coast. West Coast, I think will be the favourites because it's away from home, and we know what the Gold Coast like away from home. We need the Eagles to lose, so if we beat the Tigers, we can go ahead of them. We could go 16th this week, guys. That is wild. What is also wild is Adelaide 15th have 30 points and West Coast 16th have 12. Their bottom 3 is so much worse than the rest of the league. I want Gold Coast to win so bad this week, and I hate the Gold Coast. They're a gross franchise, but I'm going for the Gold Coast. I think if I was a betting man, I'd tip the Eagles, but I want Gold Coast to win, so I'm backing what I want this week. This week is all heart. There's no head tips here. This is all heart. West Coast lose, Gold Coast win. I'm going to go the Bulldogs. Goodbye, Melbourne, on your bike. Richmond North, already tipped that. North, an absolute smashing. Geelong Adelaide, GMHBA. You got to think the Cats win that pretty easily. Carlton Collingwood. Now, this is a game. This is a game. I'm going to tip Collingwood. I just don't think the Blues have the nous, have the cojones, have the balls to be able to get it done when it matters. They bottle it everywhere they go. I'm going to tip Collingwood in this one, and that is crazy. Does it show you the betting? I've got it on my laptop here. I know it shows you on your phone. Okay, Carlton $1.53, Pies $2.45. Yeah, I'm going to tip the Pies this week. I think I did hear the ins and outs. I think De Goey is in. Mackay is in as well. Akers, Mackay, Martin, Boyd. McQuarrie, De Goey, Billy Frampton's in. Well, that just seals it, doesn't it? Yeah, look, I'm going to tip the Pies because I just want to see the Carlton world burn down. Lygon Street, get your pasta in now because Lygon Street will be burnt to a crisp by Saturday night. So until Saturday late afternoon, you've got to have a meal and then the whole place burns down. Okay, hang on. Let's have a look here. Sydney Port. I think Sydney have to get back on track in this one. I'm a believer in Sydney. They're so much better than everyone else. I know the Brisbane Lions are in crazy form. The Dockers being third is insane. What an underrated team that I still don't rate. The Swans need to win this one, and Port, I don't want them making the 8 at all. So give me Sydney this week, even though it's in Adelaide. Giants, Hawks. This is another big... Geez, there's some games this week, isn't there? Okay. I'm going to tip the Giants, and that's crazy because the Hawks are in crazy good form. I just need the Giants to... I need the Giants to do it. I just like seeing this team get kicked, and I'd love to see them just miss the finals. If they just miss the finals, it's still a fantastic season for Hawthorn. But look... I'm going to go the Giants, but the Hawks could absolutely win. That's a 50-50. Hawks are probably favourites, right? Let's have a look. No, the Giants are favourites just. So very, very interesting. I'll go the Giants, but I'm not confident. Essendon Freo. Oh, that's a huge game too. What a round of football. Every game is so important. Cancelling all my plans this weekend. Freo should win this one, right? But Essendon need to win it so bad. It's at the G. I'm going to tip the Dockers. I just don't think the Bombers can do it. But this is big for Fremantle because if Fremantle lose this, I don't think they can win. I don't think they're going to do anything in the finals if they can't win this. They need to be able to do it on a bigger stage at the G, not just at your safe home in your bedroom. So I'm going to tip the Dockers. I think it could go either way, though, to be honest. Brisbane Saints, I mean, this is probably the worst game of the round, isn't it? This is probably the only game that doesn't mean anything. I mean, Brisbane will absolutely destroy the Saints, whereas at Marvel, who cares? Joe Danaher, probably the most underrated player in the AFL as well, by the way. I went to see him live last week, and he was phenomenal. He kicked so many goals every week. I think we still think he's that Essendon player, and that was about 8 years ago. So just wanted to give a shout out to Joe Danaher. I think you're really good, and good on you for going up to Brisbane and just dominating and being really successful and having no one even think about you. But props to you, because I think he's a great player. Okay, that's it. I'm going to go now. Thank you. Only a quick short preview pod. My light just went out. Anyway, thank you. Please, Tristan Jerry game, get down there. It's going to be so much fun. Get there an hour early, 12:30 to 12:45. Meet you in Bay 29 or around Bay 29 there. Helmets unite. We're gonna have giveaways. We're hopefully getting on Fox Footy. Hopefully Jerry comes and takes a photo, and it's going to be a good time. So any questions, message the pages. We'll put out all the info we can, and we're going to have a great time and a massive North win. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you very, very soon. Thank you for listening, and see you at the game in the weekend. Bye-bye.